Sup nerds, here's my Imperialdramon deck profile. Starting off with our Tama, we are running 4 BT9 Pagumon. When attacking, you may trash a card in your hand to have the Digimon get 1000 DP for the turn. So I'm doing this for a couple reasons. One, if your Imperial stays on the field for a turn, you can trigger this when you attack to have him be 16k to beat over most things in security. It lets you selectively put cards in your trash, which is a big part of turboing into your combo as quickly as possible. And at the end of the video, I'll show you guys how this combo actually works. And onto our rookies, we're running 4 Vmon from EX3. Evo's on top of purple or red, so it can't Evo on top of our Tama, thankfully. On play, you may trash 1 card in your hand with Imperialdramon in its name or free in its traits to draw 2. Spoilers, nearly everything in the deck besides I think 4 Digimon can be discarded for this effect, so you can always just selectively trash a card to draw 2 cards. And then his inheritable is while you have a purple Digimon in play on your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP. That DP is very nice. When you full combo, as long as you have this guy in your stack, your Imperialdramon is 17k swing at security, or your opponent's Digimon, which is pretty cool. But the selective discard is really important, just like the Pagumon, to get your pieces that you need to be in trash in order to combo. And then the best rookie, in my opinion, is Wormmon. We were playing 4 from EX3 as well. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add a purple or red card with free in its traits or 1 Imperialdramon, and then trash 1 such card among them. Put the other one on the bottom of your deck, or the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. This guy is very good. He gets 3 cards deep at a time and lets you trash directly from the deck, as opposed to Vmon that you already have to have the card in your hand. So Wormmon's the one you want to see the most, just because you can selectively add cards to your hand and selectively trash cards. But they're both very good rookies. And then his inheritable is while you have a red Digimon in play all turns, this Digimon gains Retail, which is really cool. You can make use of this not just when you're comboed out and your opponent has to respond to your Mega. You can just like go into a level 5 and just like slam into one of their guys and die, and then float into one of your rookies again, which is pretty cool. And then our last level 3, we are running 4 Psychmon from BT8 all turns. Players can't reduce play cost. This does not interact with our deck in any way. We do not reduce play cost. This is for all of the cross decks that are out there that are going to be running around next format, as well as this format. And Death X is starting to get popular again, and this deck actually has a little bit of an issue with Death X. I wouldn't say like it just crushes the deck, but it is a very good card versus this deck due to how many things we have on the field at any given time. So having this guy in play is very important for stopping people from just being like, hey, Death X. But this obviously shuts down cross decks pretty hard, especially if they're pure cross like Blue Flare and stuff like that. That is it. We were just playing 12 rookies. Onto our champions. We are playing 4 Flamedramon from EX3. Evo's on top of purple or red, so no worries about that. When Digivolving, activate one of the effects below. You may Digivolve one of your other Digimon into a level 4 purple Digimon with free in its traits from your trash for the cost. Or you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into a Digimon card in your hand for the cost. And his inheritable is, end of your turn, you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one other Digimon in play for Digimon card in your hand for the cost. And then the other champion we have is Shadramon from EX3. Has the exact same effects here, except for it Evos one of your Digimon into a red level 4 Digimon free in its traits. And then the inheritable is the same thing. So these guys Evo your other guys into each other, basically. And they are both free, so obviously they work with each other. The only thing that's not free in this deck is actually just the Psychmon. Everything else is free or Imperialdramon in name. And then we are actually running 2 more champions. We are running 2 Quetzalmons from BT10. Evos for 2 on top of purple only, so it cannot Evo on top of Vmon, unfortunately. It does have Armor Purge, which is kind of cool because you can like swing, trigger your Pagu to trash something, and then if it dies, whatever. And you can potentially just combo from there, which is pretty cool. But the reason we're running this is to have a 9th and 10th champion, so we're not just like hard bricked digging for one of these guys sometimes, which can happen if you're only running 8. And he also has free in his traits, so he works with everything in the deck. Flamedramon can Evo one of your guys into him from your trash, which is pretty cool. That can come up. When we do get the new promo Shadramon that is coming as a box topper in BT14, they will just replace these 2 cards. I don't think you would run a full 4 copies of that new card, so we'll just replace these 2. And that is it. We are playing 10 champions. On to our ultimates. We are running 4 Imperialdramon from EX3. DNAs with a red level 4, purple level 4 for free. When Digivolving, when DNA Digivolving, you may play a Dino B from your trash without paying the cost. And then on deletion, you may play a VMon from your trash without paying the cost. And then the inheritable is your turn. While Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, it gains security attack +1. So this guy floats into VMon on deletion, also has a really good inheritable. And then the other ultimate we are playing is 4 Dino Bs from the same set, EX3. Pretty much this entire deck's from EX3, or at least the Digimon are. DNA's on top of purple level 4, red level 4, and then when Digivolving, when DNA Digivolving, you may play a Imperialdramon from your trash without paying the cost. And then on deletion, play a Wormmon. So these basically do the exact same thing except for opposite of each other, and they play their respective rookies, which is cool. And then your turn, while this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, it can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, which is a very, very good effect. Obviously, that's a really good effect, but it becomes even better once you see the full combo and like what happens when this deck pops off. And that is it. We're just running 8 ultimates. And on to our megas. Here is the primary guy that you're gonna pop off and combo into. DNA's on top of a purple level 5 and red level 5 for 0 memory, obviously. When Digivolving, when DNA Digivolving, your opponent chooses one of their Digimon and deletes the rest, then Blitz. So the way this works is the first sentence only happens with your DNA Digivolving, but the then Blitz part is just when Digivolving period. So you can hard Evo into this guy and Blitz. That can come up, especially versus Death X and stuff like that, so keep that in mind. And then his when attacking, once per turn, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Then you may Digivolve this Digimon into an Imperialdramon fighter mode in your hand for its Digivolution cost. So you DNA into this guy, swing, gain 2k, and then Evo into an Imperialdramon fighter mode. Speak of the devil, we are also running 4 Imperialdramon fighter mode from EX3. He Digivolves for 2 on top of Dragon mode, so it just costs 2 memory. Or you can hard Evo him for 5. I haven't had that come up in any of my testing yet, but I'm sure it can. He has piercing naturally, which is really important. And then when Digivolving, you may return 1 Imperialdramon Dragon mode from the Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck to prevent your opponent's security effects from activating for the turn. So this is like a delicate plan, except for it prevents Digimon, options, and tamers. There's literally no security effects that proc. Everything just gets checked and goes to the trash. The only thing he is dying to is a Digimon that has a higher DP than him. But when you full combo into him, he's going to be 17 or 18k. And if he goes to 18, there's literally nothing in the game that's that big. So he's going to run over everything in their security. And then his on deletion is you may play 1 Wormmon and 1 VMon from your trash without paying the memory cost. So like he'll float into the rookies, and then you can most likely at that point combo again on the next turn if they don't clear your rookies out, which is pretty sick. Another thing I want to add about his when Digivolving effect, this just prevents their security effects from activating for the turn. It's not just the security that he checks. So if you go into this guy and activate that effect without passing turn, you can just swing out with everything and nothing procs, which is really cool. And that is it. We were just playing 8 level 6s. On to the Tamers. We are running 4 Analog Youth from EX1, 2-cost Tamer. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a Digimon card among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards, and then all turns when one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digivolution cards is deleted, you may suspend this Tamer, gain a memory, and hatch an egg in your Digitama area, assuming you have an empty space. Securities play the card without paying the cost. This is really, really good for setting up your combo as quickly as possible, as well as digging into your deck for your pieces. And also, if your Imperialdramon gets outed, you get to pull the memory back on your side some of the time if you have enough of these set up, as well as play out 2 rookies. Like you can potentially just combo them again after they clear your Imperialdramon. That's pretty sick. And then our other 4 Tamers, we are playing 4 Taikamiya from BT1. He is a memory setter. And then your turn, all of your red Digimon with 4 or more Digivolution cards gain security attack +1. So we're playing this guy because if you full combo somebody with fighter mode, you have 2 checks naturally. But for each one of these guys, you'd have an additional check, and having a few of these out and just comboing in your opponent's security while clearing their board, you can just leave them at like 1 or 0 security, and then they have to answer your guy immediately or they just lose. So that's what we're playing for this guy. We want to have as many of these in play as possible, and that's one of the reasons why we have a slight issue with Death X, although you can play around and just not slam all your Tamers. But that is it. We're just playing 8 Tamers. Onto our options, we are playing 1 Calling from the Darkness from BT7, 1 1 cost option. I'm still really sad that this card went to 1. This card went to 1 right as we got this deck, and I was planning on probably playing like 3 to 4 of this card in this deck because I think it's the best option for it. But alas, they limited it whenever we got this deck. Main, delete one of your Digimon, then return up to 2 purple Digimon cards from your trash to your hand. Securities, add the card to your hand. So the only way you're not getting this if it gets trashed off of one of your analog youths. But this is really powerful because you can activate this, pop your fighter mode, and float into your rookies while grabbing pieces to combo into your opponent again, and then just obviously just combo them again, and while adding the pieces necessary. And then we are playing 1 Demonic Disaster from BT5. 1 cost option, you may delete one of your Digimon, don't suspend one of your purple Digimon. This is another thing to just pop our Imperialdramon fighter mode to float into our rookies again, to combo again. Or you could potentially, if for some reason you fighter moded and didn't pass turn, you can just pop one of your rookies if you have something else on the field, unsuspend, and then swing again for the rest of their security, assuming they have any. And the security effect is you may play a level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its cost. It doesn't get its on play, but float it, like having a rookie float on your field is really good because in order to combo in this deck, you need 2 bodies on the field. And that's the reason why we're playing 4 memory setters as well, is because you want to be able to promote hard player rookie and then not pass turn. And then our last 2 options, we are playing 2 Death Cannon. A cost option from BT10. When this card is trashed from your deck, return it to your hand. So for those of you that don't know, this does not trigger with Analog Youth or anything like that where you reveal the cards and then trash them after the fact. It has to be directly milled from your deck in order to proc this, so we don't have any way to proc this. This is just in here because it's basically the Gaia Force equivalent for purple, because it's removal that you can pick and choose what you want to hit as opposed to like only hitting one thing or only hitting another thing. But the effect is main, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. If there are 10 or more cards in your trash, add 1 to the maximum level of Digimon you can delete with this effect, and then securities activate the main effect. So turn 0, this pops a level 6, and you get cards in your trash pretty quickly with this deck, so by the time your opponent has a level 7 in play, this will be able to pop a level 7. That's why it's basically Gaia Force. And if you are playing against a deck that happens to mill you, they can potentially put this in your hand, which is a nice little bonus. Alright, and now for the combo. All you need for this combo is you need 1 of your level 4s and 1 of your level 5s in trash, and you need the corresponding level 4 and level 5 in your hand, and then obviously you need a rookie. After you promote, you need to play the second rookie, and then you need at least Imperialdramon Dragon mode. But if you want a full combo, you want fighter mode in your hand as well. So if you just have these cards, which it seems like before you play this deck, it seems like it's a little too hard to gather the resources to do this consistently, very quickly, but it's much easier than it seems with all your searching and stuff. You start your turn with 3 memory, promote, and then you play your second rookie, or it's already on the field. Doesn't really matter. I'll go ahead and move Ty out of the way. Doesn't really matter if he was already on the field or not, but then you just start popping off here. You Evo here for 2. This effect procs, and you Evo into Flamedramon from your trash for 2. At this point, it would pass turn if you started with 3 memory and a rookie on the field, or this effect already passed turn. But because these guys Evo into each other like that, it doesn't matter if you're passing turn here. Flamedramon's effect would trigger, and you would DNA into a Digimon in your hand. With this guy, so you would Evo into Dino B. Dino B would play Pyodramon from trash, and then at this point, end of turn would trigger. So either Flamedramon or Shadramon, whichever one you want to trigger, would happen, and then you would DNA here into this dude. This guy's effect would activate. Your opponent would pick 1 Digimon, everything else goes, and then you blitz at the remaining Digimon because you can attack unsuspended with the Dino B effect, and you gain 2k, and you also have 2k from Vmon, so you're 16k right here. You trigger the other effect of the when attacking, Evo into fighter mode for 2 memory, and then you activate his Wind Digivolving to bot deck the Imperialdramon, and now he is 17k, and he has 2 checks naturally just from the Pyodramon, and nothing happens in security if you check it, and for every one of these guys you have on the field, it's an additional check. Also, you are running through whatever your opponent has on the field that remains after you pop everything else. So your opponent is left with nothing on the field, their security just got exploded through, and then when they deal with this, if they like run it over, It does have retail, or if they delete it with an option or something like that, it'll float into your Vmon and your Wormmon, and you can most likely just do it again because your Wormmon and your Vmon with both trigger, so you could search all the pieces you needed. The full combo happens a lot quicker than you would expect. I kind of felt like this deck was kind of a meme once calling got hit. Like, it was like, man, this deck's not consistent. Like, I'm not even going to try to build this. But having felt the same way about Alter S when we first got it in EX4, and then putting it together and realizing how powerful it was, and how consistent it was, even though like it doesn't seem like it would be. This deck felt the exact same way when I put it together and started testing. Like, I think this deck is awesome. It's obviously only going to get better when we get that new promo, and I'm looking forward to sharing some gameplay with you guys in the upcoming week. But if you guys have any questions, anything I didn't address, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer anything. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested in this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.